Hello viewers, welcome to our Facebook live session. Today on this World Brain Tumor Day, we'll be discussing on non-invasive surgery for brain tumor. And we have with us our expert, Dr. Sham Srivastav, Director, Radiation Oncologist at Apollo Hospitals, Navi Mumbai. Welcome to our live session, Doctor.
Thank you, Neha.
Doctor, our first question is, why there is so much talk about brain tumors? Are all brain tumors life-threatening?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of talk about brain tumor. People are fearing about brain tumors. If we see, when we see all the cancers, nearly 2% of cancers are the brain tumor cancer. So when you are seeing 98% are some other tumors, 2 are the brain. In India, when we look, this is something like a 10th common cancer in India. So therefore, there's a lot of fear about the cancer of the when it occurs in the brain. When we look in our country, nearly 30,000 cases are seen every year. And unfortunate thing, why there is more fear is that out of these, when you look at high-grade tumors, they are something like 60% of high-grade tumors where the chances of cure is relatively less as we see in the earlier statistics. So therefore, one must be careful and must really get it diagnosed much early.
What a common person should know regarding brain tumors and how are these treated?
You know, the most unfortunate thing about the brain tumor is that the symptoms are quite common symptoms, like somebody is having got the headache, the nausea, vomiting, and sometimes when you look at the very specific, like some weakness of some limb or some part of the body, and they can be confused with other disease also. So therefore, it is important that whenever there are some kind of symptoms, one must contact the doctor and see what it could be. Not necessarily it will be the cancer. When you look at the diagnosis, because these tumors are not seen outside, they are within the skull. So therefore, a lot of tests are required, like when you are doing CT scan, the MRI, and then on the basis of these are diagnosed. So they are not directly seen, like if you look at the throat cancer or the cancer in the mouth in some other area. And when you are asking about the kind of the treatment which is done for these cases, are generally the surgery is the main treatment, where you remove the tumor, and also it gives you the tissue diagnosis that what we are doing. Many cancers are very low grade, where the chances of cure is very good. Some are the high grade, as I mentioned earlier, so where something more will be required in that. So major treatment is there, which is the surgery, maybe the radiation therapy later on, and also kind of chemotherapy, and nowadays the immunotherapy is also coming up. When we look at the doctors nowadays, for the correct method of treatment, this is always done in what we call as MDT, or multidisciplinary team. So the radiation oncologist, the surgeon, the medical oncologist, they all will sit together for a particular patient and decide what is the best treatment for them on the basis of current evidence-based medicine. So the evidence is available for different kind of tumors in the brain, and that is generally applied for these patients.
So doctor, are there any non-surgical treatment for brain tumors?
Yes, fortunately the science is advancing. Say when you look at the earlier period of time, it was the surgery when you can remove the tumor, and then there was hardly anything. But the non-surgical treatments have come up very well. Like you are saying that one is the chemotherapy I mentioned, or immunotherapy, which is coming up. The major issue which is there is that how can we treat these tumors on a non-surgical aspect. So if somebody can diagnose this tumor, and the radiation therapy is quite handy in that, and there's a lot of advances in the radiotherapy nowadays where it can be given. A lot of equipments, the machines have come up. In earlier period of time, there were only the cobalt-60 machines where the focused radiation cannot be given. But today, there are a lot of machines which have come, especially in India, and when we look in Bombay, there are many linear accelerators have come up which can be used for this. So in a non-surgical technique, when you are looking, basically what happens, the patients are taken first, and generally CT scan or MRI is done to localize the tumor, and then the radiation can be focused in that tumor area so that you can kill these tumor cells very effectively with radiation therapy. There are various methods of treatment. One is like conventional, which was there earlier. Then the newer methods have come up like 3D conformal radiation therapy, the intensity modulated radiation therapy, which is like IMRT, the IGRT, and also the stereotactic radiation therapy, and the newer modality, which are the proton therapy, which the Apollo Hospital also has in Chennai, have also come up to help these patients on a non-surgical technique.
So we hear about radiosurgery, that is gamma knife, cyber knife. So what are these? Can you explain?
Yes, these are the different techniques which are used and different kind of machines are there. The major aim is that we would like to give the tumoricidal dose or radiation, tumoricidal radiation to the tumor, and at the same time try to save the normal structure. You know, the brain is very compact. There are the areas which are very close by each other. Even if there is a damage, there will be some neurological deficit in the body. So therefore it is very important for all of us to give the radiation in such a way that only the tumor gets the high dose and the surrounding area gets a minimum dose. And all these methods like a gamma knife, the cyber knife, the X knife, the protons are the different kind of machines which are mainly focused on giving the radiation to a very precise manner, in a highly focused manner, so that they don't damage the nearby organ. The important thing which I would like to mention here is the stereotactic radiation therapy. So the stereotactic radiation therapy has been used for quite some time for the brain tumors. It was basically evolved, like as you said about the gamma knife, it was evolved for the brain tumors. Now brain tumors can be malignant, which are, we can call it as cancerous, and may not be the cancerous like AV malformation, trigeminal neuralgia. It can also be used for epilepsy and Parkinson's disease. So these are the methods which were adopted to give a radiation to a very high dose to a very specific area in a very precise manner. And also you can see the proton therapy, which can give a very high dose to the tumor area without really giving any dose in a further area. So these are the method and the different kind of machines to give a very precise dose of radiation to the tumor.
So, doctor, are there any risk or side effects of radiation therapy to brain?
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, whenever we are applying any kind of treatment, there are some side effects. Whatever is the treatment, whether it is in chemotherapy, surgery or radiation therapy, but we always make sure that therapeutic ratio is maintained. When I mention about the therapeutic ratio, means you want to give the maximum benefit with the minimum complications. With the radiation therapy, there are going to be some side effects like when you are seeing there will be a little bit fatigue the patient will feel, there may be vomiting, nausea, or the area where the radiation beam is entering, there may be a little hair loss, but these are all temporary. When we look at the long-term side effect, what I mentioned is the short-term, long-term side effects, there are not many, but depending on the area, there may be possibility of some cognitive function which may be diminished. So therefore, always whenever the radiation is giving, the patients are always called for the follow-up to see that what kind of side effect they are doing, and accordingly the treatment can also be done for these patients.
So doctor, if someone develops brain metastasis, will the radiation helps in such patient?
Yes, it is very, very important, and I think it is very, very beneficial when we think of these things. There are cancers like lung cancer, breast cancer, and some other cancers where the disease can go to the brain area. Now, it all depends on what kind of treatment you would like to offer to these patients when there are brain metastases. Sometimes there is only one focus of the metastasis, which can be very well dealt with either the surgery, so you remove the metastatic part, or maybe with a radiation therapy, and later on, depending on the excision or depending on the response of this, you can add either the chemotherapy or immunotherapy nowadays, which is also in vogue. Whenever there are multiple metastases, the brain, there are many metastases are there in the brain. In that case, generally the radiation is advised. The surgery is not very helpful in these cases. And here, the various kind of treatment with the radiation is done, like whole brain radiation followed by very precise radiation, or whenever there are 2 or 3 metastases only, one can give a stereotactic radiation therapy, which has been found to be very useful. And depending on response, you can do further treatment.
So, doctor, can the brain tumor reoccur after all the treatments?
Yes, there are chances. As I mentioned in the earlier period of that there are different kind of tumors in the brain. Some are relatively benign, some are the not very ominous, not very bad as such, or sometimes they are not very good, like looking at glioblastoma multiforme grade 4, where the response is very poor in those cases. So there are chances by doing surgery or giving radiation therapy, immunotherapy, they may come back again. And therefore, the follow-up is extremely important in these patients. Once they are treated, they should come back for the follow-up as advised by the doctor. And even if the disease comes back many times, it is seen that if the time period is fairly long, can be given a further radiation therapy or further surgery can be done in these cases. So that one should not wait for a long period of time where the disease is uncontrollable, where nothing can be done. So they should come for follow-up on a regular basis, and there are very high chances that it can be again controlled.
Doctor, we come to the last question. What precaution a patient should take after treatment?
As I mentioned, that one must take care of the symptoms, and the follow-up is very important. Doctor will keep on advising the kind of treatment which is necessary in the follow-up of these patients. So what happens basically, the important thing for all of us is there. One, if we have treated these patients, the quality of life is extremely important in our view. The patient should go back to their normal life. So as has been advised by the doctor, after the treatment they should take care. They should take care of the symptoms. If anything happens with the body, they should immediately respond to the doctor what is required. And I know that it is very important, because any kind of tumor, especially when you look at the brain tumor, there are emotional, the psychological, the social aspect for everybody. So it is important that even the family and the people who are caregivers for these patients should also take care that they psychologically they should boost up the patient. Good nutrition has to be given to these patients, and a regular follow-up. And I'm again emphasizing the follow-up is extremely important for these patients.
Thank you, doctor, for joining this session. Dear viewers, if you have any question related to this topic, please drop your questions in the comment box and we'll address it to Dr. Shah. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.